Like to welcome to the process of hip hop all the way from New Orleans, Louisiana, my man, Rosha Washington. What's going on, player?
Yo, what's up, man? I'm glad to be on it, man. Chopping it up with you.
Yes, sir. I've been trying to get at Rosha, man, for about 9, 10 months now, it seems like. So I'm so glad you was able to join the show. And Rosha is the star of All Screwed Up, the tribute movie that I'm so looking forward to about DJ Screw and a legend, obviously, in hip hop game. And Rosha, I wanted to start with, man, tell me about, obviously, I know you're from New Orleans, but tell me about your background, how you got into acting,
hmm
and how, for you, probably a role of a lifetime, so to speak,
Yes, it is.
portraying a hip hop legend, how that came about, man.
Man. Well, first, I've always wanted to be an actor since I was a little boy. You know what I'm saying? Doing like stage plays in church and little different things like that in high school. But it really got kickstarted. I'm gonna condense this whole story down just for the purpose of this. It
Yeah.
really got kickstarted. I went to college. I went to Southeastern in Hammond for finance. So I have my degree in finance actually. I worked in the financial field for a little while after I graduated college. But before I started getting jobs when we were in college, a good friend of mine was doing background work because in New Orleans we have a lot of productions and stuff going on. And at that time, it was a lot going on. So she was like, "Hey, y'all want to make some quick gets money? All you gotta do is go sit here a couple hours a day." And it was like movie sets. So I'm like, "Oh, cool, that's movie sets." I remember I wanted to be an actor. Like it
Yeah.
was that kind of thing in my mind. Like I know that's something I like to do. So let's go check it out. I went and was in the background for Free State of Jones with Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
actually, my first experience was a good one because it was about the ancestors of Matthew McConaughey, well, the character he's playing,
Right.
and her actual family members was in the production as background. So they chose me to be a part of the family members. They treated them exclusively. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
mean, we were getting fed deviled eggs and all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff on set being brought to you when that's not the normal treatment.
Yeah. Right.
So man, but I sat in the courtroom scene. I saw like the director going banter back and forth with some of the actors, and I'm watching all of this go on with the cameras. It's my first time being on the set, and it just blew me away. Honestly, the whole thing like blew me away. I was like, man, like how they say you get bit by the bug. I got bit
Yep.
that day. So I
Mhm.
had a conversation with one of the older black actresses. I got to get this lady name, man, because I keep talking about it. But I had a conversation with her outside, and she was just like, if you want to do it, just get some headshots, get some classes, and get going. Like, it's easy to do. So you just got to get started and stay with it. When I left that day, man, my mind was made up that I wanted to like pursue my acting career like fully again. So I left there, and from then I was still working at a bank. I was a financial representative at a bank, so in downtown New Orleans. But on the side, I was still pursuing my acting career. I was doing background gigs, just getting more information and trying to hit up agents, trying to find classes, and you know, eventually, maybe like 2 years after that, I had got another big job in Baton Rouge at a law firm, and was fired in a matter of a month.
Mm.
So yeah, and it was on some racial stuff. So when I was let go from that job on a Friday, like I was praying and God was like, I didn't bring you this far. I way out here with this good paying job just to let you get fired in the month, right? So that Friday I got fired, and that Wednesday I got signed by my agent
Uh,
that I had been hitting up for 9 or 10 months. So look, we both be running that. I had been hitting these people up like they were like a big agency down here in the southeast, and I finally got a connect with them, a referral through one of my friends, and I got signed with them that Wednesday, like on the spot. So then I already knew, oh, I'm not going back to the corporate world. This is it. Like, so I went and got me a little hotel gig and making 9, $10 an hour, and was just busting it from there, man. So of course, years went into it when I came up into the Screw Project. I had been acting for about maybe 4 or 5 years of grinding and doing a lot of independent stuff. Nothing really big yet, but I still was auditioning for a lot of big shows, but just haven't broke into nothing yet. And 20 what today is 2019. I got an email from the producers of the project saying that they wanted me to audition. They had found my information on a website called Backstage, and they wanted me to audition. Now, mind you, the stuff that I had on Backstage was like a selfie that I took in 2012, so it wasn't professional headshots, and
yeah.
I didn't have any experience. I didn't even have the experience that I acquired from those 4 years of me acting. That wasn't even on there. It was something that I created way back then, thinking about being an actor. So it blew my mind that I didn't did all this work and y'all reached out to me just for this,
Yeah,
just because I look like him and I had a little theater background. So, man, that's a crazy part I had to put in there. But because you be thinking you need all these different things to get opportunities, but all it is, once the opportunities come, you just got to be ready. So, make a long story short, I signed the NDA. I still didn't know what the project was for. And then they emailed me back and was like, hey, we want you to audition for XYZ. And I'm like, dang. So mind you, I knew of DJ Screw, but I didn't really know who he was and what he was about. Because I'm from New Orleans. I was born in the 90s. Like all we heard was No Limit and Cash Money. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't know anything about slow down music. So Googled him. The first thing I did was Google him. It's the first thing we do nowadays. Let me see if I look like him. Google him and I was like, oh shit. I look like him. I was like, okay, let me take this one a little serious, because then when it said lead role, again, as an actor in my mind that hasn't been booking nothing, I've been audition, and almost getting and this I'm like, lead role, okay, haha. But I kind of look like him, so I'm gonna give it some energy, like I do all of them. Yeah. So did the audition in the lobby of my hotel job where I worked at in New Orleans. My coworker helped me and just did it regularly, sent it in, they gave me some feedback. But after like about a month of going back and forth with them, man, they offered me the part. So from then on, it was history.
Wow. And it's interesting, man, because there has been a run of hip hop biopics in the last 5 years, Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
And obviously, prior to that, you had, Notorious, then you had All Eyes on Me, had a couple, then you got the Wu-Tang series. So there's starting to be a little bit of a run on hip hop. I'll just say biopics or even group pics.
Yeah.
And the conversation that I always hear people say is, do you hire a person who is a musician to play a hip hop artist, or do you hire an actor to play a hip hop artist? And I'm a more proponent of you hire an actor and to play versus trying to hire, a musician and trying to teach that person how to act, because I know there was there was a little bit of controversy with the casting for Straight Outta Compton, because those guys are all actors. They're not musicians. They hire, with the exception of Cube's son, and he's an actor too. But these guys are actors, and so the person was like, no, you should have had this musician play this. So you being an actor and then being, getting the role for, again, a hip hop icon, DJ Screw, I think, and it's kind of like that. I think that the producers, I'm just gonna say, I think they had the right intent in mind, because obviously you're trying to get somebody that looks like him.
Yeah.
But if you're an actor that looks like him, well, now you're in a great position. So that that was great. Now, another thing I wanted to ask you about, man, is DJ Screw's more my era, very, very close in age to me. And I remember, when he was really getting popular, it was pre-internet explosion, so hip hop was very regional at the time. So he was regionally popular in Houston for years.
Mm-hmm.
When that Chopped and Screwed really started to blow up was the early 2000s, and then it started just to be did you have to research the style of music, man? How much did you actually go into being Screw in order to be Screw? You know what I mean? Like, how much?
Man, I mean, it was crazy, because like I said, this was my first big project, if that means anything, and let alone having to play somebody that actually was here on Earth. Yeah. So to me, at first, I was just like, who, what? Like, y'all want me to do this? Like, can I do this? Do I have the training? Not remembering that I've been training for 4 or 5 years. Like, you're never going to be to the point where you feel like you're just all the way ready. Sometimes you just got to just jump and have the faith in God. And God just kept reminding me, like, look, I'm the one who gave you this opportunity. So I'm going to make sure you look good.
Yeah.
You just do the work that you know you do how to do, and then everything else is just going to be, effortless. So a lot of the stuff that people will see when they see the project is really just, man, honestly, God uses Screw spirit to act through me. It was effortless. You know what I'm saying? So, but I had to do a lot of research. I didn't want to really dig too much into the music side of it, because the story is really, even though the music is his story and it's his life, but I wanted people to really get to know who Robert was. You know what I'm saying? Robert R. Davis Jr., the more of the person, the human side, because everybody knows the music side of it. They got people that could come sing, rap more Screw songs and list all the tapes than anybody, probably his family members. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I didn't want to really dig too much into that because I knew if I did, then people would have been like, heavy on that. So I'm going on the more personal side, bringing forward the essence of who he was as a person. You know what I'm saying? In development with the music. So I listened to tons of Screw tapes. And a lot of the SUC music just to kind of get the idea of where his head was, how he chose his music, and a lot of the songs that he sampled from, I went back and listened to and things like that. So that was a lot of the research that I did as far as preparing with him with the music. But mainly, man, I was focusing on what made him angry, what made him sad, you know what I'm saying? What made him excited, you know what I'm saying? Because Screw was a real chill person, real monotone. He showed expression, but not a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? He was the quietest one in the room. You know what I'm saying? But the biggest one in the room at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So it was definitely an honor, man. Just doing tons and tons of research. I watched tons of videos of. They say when you want to learn about somebody and about yourself, ask somebody that was around you. You know what I'm saying? They know more than anything. So the fact that he's not here for me to get from him wasn't really it didn't really make me feel scared or anything, that I couldn't really get that part of it because the people that know him more than anybody, which is Nikki, his girl, you know what I'm saying, his sister Michelle, Kiki, Big Pokey, Bub, his cousin, all these people in the SU clique that was around him during that time. You know what I'm saying? I watched those interviews and listened to them talk about him, the way he was, the way he carried himself. And that's mainly what I pulled from, you know what I'm saying, the interviews and stuff that he did do. He didn't do a lot of it, but the stuff that he did do, Screw really came through. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I use. And I want to tap into, man, shout out to Jason Mitchell with NWA. He's actually from New Orleans.
Yeah, yes, sir.
And he actually had the same kind of build up in career that I had. I mean, I think he did a few more things that I did before he actually got the role. You know what I'm saying? But he blew up after that. You know what I'm saying? So that was shout out to Jason, man. I just wanted to say that because he was a real inspiration and a part of the process of me wanting to become an actor more anyway, and seeing it being done is what's the big part. So I just wanted to add that in there, man.
No doubt. And he had it's funny because I think you probably had an advantage being from the South. Screw's from the South. I remember watching the interview. Jason Mitchell had to become West Coast, which is a different swag, different. And
honestly, man, it was the same thing for me with Screw. You would think as close as we are, the cultures are still extremely different, man. Like the way we talk, that was actually the hardest part. If you watch the interview with the director, Isaac, when he talks about when he was casting me in the process, I had to be in dialect classes for 8 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Learning how to, because my New Orleans accent trumps everything. We're so peculiar in our accent. It's not like anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So
Houston
actually have to
different. Yeah.
Houston is totally different. Totally. See, they don't think they sound country.
Yeah, right.
Like we don't think we sound country in New Orleans, but to people up north, we do. You know what I'm saying? Or from the West Coast, they'd be like, "Oh, you from down south," and it's just like, man, I don't sound country. So it was a difficult process, but it actually made me enjoy it even more because I had to really dig into the culture to learn the slang words and how they said it and the way they talk and why they talked a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So that was actually a good experience preparing for the role.
Now, was it a little bit of pressure? Man, you talked about people that were close to him, very close to him. When you were performing scenes, did you feel pressure to get it right? Because again, we're not talking about his music.
Yeah.
About him, did you feel pressure with those people, knowing that you was going to be representing him to them? Did you feel pressure to get the parts right, to hit the marks?
Honestly, yes and no. Mostly no, because the pressure that I thought I was gonna feel, like I'm a very spiritual person, so God kind of took that off of me, as opposed to when I'm on set and I'm working. You know what I'm saying? And I want to thank the crew because it was a very minimal crew when we were shooting. So we really didn't have a lot of people there to be like, oh, that's not it. Yeah. That's not it. Or just watching me, like waiting to see what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had some people stop by, Kiki stopped by, DJ Chill, D-Right was actually a part of the production, you know what I'm saying? So we had people that were there involved making sure it was done right, but I didn't have anybody there that was just watching, waiting for me to fail type thing. And in my mind, any criticism that I did get, you're trying to make this look the best it's going to be. It's not really about you targeting me as in my acting. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the pressure really wasn't there on the outside. When I first got it, I felt the pressure because
Yeah.
I'm like, it's time to work. Like,
Yeah.
and really, it helped me not knowing the huge impact that he had. That's what took a lot of the pressure off, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because after we finished shooting big portions of it, then I started to really see the impact, and I'm like, damn. Because if I would have known all this before we started shooting, then I would have probably been nervous. I'd probably
Yeah.
been more like, I gotta get this right. But I was really just chilling, man. We had a good time, like getting it done. So it really wasn't too much pressure. It was some, but not too much.
Not too much. And it's a series. I mean, we want to make sure we clarify. It's not. It's film or is a series.
So what's coming out is a visual tribute. It's just
Mhm.
it's a visual tribute to DJ Screw. It's a story that's being told about him. It's not a series and it's not a movie.
Okay.
So it's just a visual tribute that's being released this month sometime. So it's a tribute to his life. So now what's coming after?
Yeah,
I
we'll
don't
see.
know.
And the other thing that is interesting because again he was an icon, and
Yeah.
when you hear chopped and screwed, it's like, well, that's him. So whenever somebody is that influential to not just their region but to all of hip hop and to the music industry in general, that's a person who's obviously at an icon status. But there was kind of some controversy, man, about how he passed. Was that ever addressed? Because it was like, for all indications, man, he wasn't really, didn't really get down with lean and all that, but then that was kind of the cause of death. Was that addressed in the project, or without spoiling it? How did you address controversial aspects of his life, which the most controversial aspect is how he passed? Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, I can't say whether it's in a project or not. You'll have to watch for
Yeah.
that. But from my learnings and my understanding, me talking with his family, the people that were closest from him, not just people dreaming up stuff and thinking about it, Screw had a lot of existing conditions that didn't help with the indulgence
Yeah.
of the lean.
Yeah. Right.
And that's how I'm gonna say that. So
Okay.
he didn't overdose though. It wasn't like he didn't overdose. He had a lot of existing conditions, health conditions,
Yeah.
that just didn't help that they were indulging in that during that time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what ultimately caused his passing.
His passing. Yeah, it was. I just remember it was a lot of and he passed, Jay Dilla passed, and they were both iconic producers.
Yeah.
Kind of in the prime of their lives. It's like, man, it was, both of them had health issues, but Screw in particular, it was just a little bit like, well, that doesn't make sense. But like you said, if you have some pre-existing conditions, then any kind of substance does not help. That always even more. Well, man, what is next for Rosha, man? I mean, now that you've done this, what's next for you?
Hey, only the stars can tell, man. I mean, everybody's like hitting me up, like, oh, you're gonna blow up after this, and I'm just like, in my eyes, as an artist, of course, I want to like get plenty of more job opportunities, and I want to like soar. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, I'm just enjoying the moment because, like I said, I went so long without being successful at all. So it's like the fact that I got to this project before I even start thinking about what's coming next. I want to enjoy this because I worked my ass off, excuse my language, for this. You know what I'm saying? And it's just time to enjoy it and celebrate an icon for me. That's what it's about. Me enjoying the process because I'm a part of it, and this is his 20th anniversary memorial. You know what I'm saying? So it's really about Screw and screwing up the world because that's what he would have wanted, and it's about me just enjoying this process because I just kind of get to drag along. You know what I'm saying? But like, man, you playing him? It's like, yeah, but it's about Screw. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even have the job if it wasn't for him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So whatever comes after, man, to be honest, it's just like, that'll be extra. It'll just be extra, like, for real.
Yeah, it'll be interesting again because I think you've obviously been able to do some other things prior. You've done this now, and I'm hoping that it is a springboard, to you. And it's also interesting, man. This being a process of hip hop, how hard work and believing in yourself, not giving up. obviously a belief in God, having faith, and never taking a setback as, oh man, as oh, it's not gonna happen. You have to keep grinding. So it's like whether you are in acting or actually an artist or producer, you have to be willing to keep going, even when it looks like, oh man, what am I doing this for? Or I haven't made it yet, or I should have. So, I hear that in your story, and I think it's a testament for people, man, who are, whether they're artists or whatever pursuit that you're after, to continue on, even when it doesn't look like it's always gonna happen, because like you said,
man, I think my big advice would be to people that's pursuing any type of dream, any type of artistic dream, especially because it's different. I have a brother that's a rapper, you know what I'm saying, in New Orleans. His name is Ready Rollo. So Steady Ready, you can look him up on Instagram and all of that. But anybody that's pursuing any type of dream like that, I say do it because you enjoy doing it. If it's not your passion, if you don't wake up every day thinking about it or go to sleep every day thinking about the process of it, you know what I'm saying, the actual art of it, instead of just what my Instagram followers going to be like once I do this, what award shows I'm going to get to do this, what interviews I'm going to get to do, you know what I'm saying? If you're thinking about that aspect of it, it's always going to beat you down. But if you just operating it like an everyday passion, like you're just doing it, then eventually the universe and God, whatever you believe in, it's going to drop something right on your head because you're in alignment with it. Same thing happened for me. Just never gave up, but I wasn't shooting. I was shooting for the stars, don't get me wrong. And I spoke a lot of things into existence, but even like now, like people are saying, what do you think is going to happen after? I don't know. My faith is in God. Whatever's coming, because if nothing happens, then what? I won't be looking like, oh man, I did the DJ Screw thing and I ain't nothing. Like I'm just an actor. You know what I'm saying? My next job, whatever, whether it's a 2-liner on this movie or 2 scenes here and there, I'm an actor. I love working. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would just say, man. Just learn to love. Make sure it's your line. Make sure it's your passion. Make sure of that, because if it's not, you could be operating the field just for something else, man. It's not going to never work like that, because you're never going to be happy. You're always going to be working. Yeah. Like you asked me when I was on set, man, it wasn't even work for real, bro. It was like, I'm living my dream right here. I'm living my dream. So it's no pressure. Like, this is what I was born to do. If it's not what you was born to do, and if it was something that you was born to do or not, you got to be truthfully and honest with yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you know that, then hey, just get it done. If you rap, write rhymes all day, 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Stay in the studio, stay making videos. I don't care if you get 15, 200 likes. Stay making the videos because you like doing it. Yeah. You like putting it out. You like watching your work come into a visual aspect. That's why I like making videos. Oh, this one went viral. That's dope. Dang, they want BET want me to come. It's even more gratifying then, man. It's way more gratifying then.
In terms of man, what has been, well, maybe once it comes out, and you'll have to give me the details, man. As far, so what's going to be is there a release date, and what channel or what streaming platform? How are we going to be able to see this?
So there is a release date, but the way that you can watch it is go to allscrewedup.com, sign up and get access to your screw box, and they'll give you all the details for it.
Okay. And lastly, man, I know this information, but for people that want to stay in touch with Rosha Washington, what you're doing, man, your journey, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, man. Follow me on Instagram at Rosha_Washington. That's ROSHA_Washington. I post a lot of my work and stuff on there, even some personal things, but I'm on Twitter as well. I'm trying to develop this Twitter for this group page. It's called I Am Rosha Wash, WASH. Couldn't fit the whole Washington. So, look, for now, that's what it is. But Instagram, definitely, man. Y'all follow me, check out my page, DM me. I respond to DMs and chat with you. So, looking forward to it, man.
Well, man, best of luck to you in the future, man. I have a feeling, man, you're gonna get a lot of projects, man, because you got the energy, and I think this was a great opening. If you want to call this an opening project, I think this is a great one for you, because hip hop is a worldwide phenomenon, and DJ Screw was definitely an icon, man. So best of luck to you when you do your next project, man. Especially if it's a hip hop joint, man. You definitely come back on the process of hip hop, man. But
hey, look, you saw I came back into y'all. I was like,
yeah, you did.
to the people that reached out to me first. Now that I'm free. So
Absolutely.
look, man, I'm always coming back, Brian. You know, just hit me up. You got my Instagram, and I'll be take some time out of my day to talk to you, man.
All right, man. Best of luck to you, bro.
Appreciate it.